ऐसे कर रहे हो भाई?
अपना भाई है ना।
You can also rent your favorite motorcycles with just a snap of your fingers. Visit royalbrothers.com or download our app to know more. To begin with, if you haven't seen our Java 42 review video, you might want to go check it out first to get a proper handle on what we're about to discuss. The links are in the description below. Check it out if you want. There we found out that the Java 42 has a peppy characteristic and it is easy to chuck around and you really enjoy the urban environments. Now, after having ridden the bike for a while in the cities, we actually quite started liking the performance of the Java 42. So the next best thing to do, compare it with a bike from a similar segment. And so we decided to pit one of its closest competitions in the Indian market, the Royal Enfield Thunderbird 350X. Brand Thunderbird, as everyone knows, has been one of the mainstays from the Royal Enfield stables. The 350X here stands for a 350cc motorcycle rendition that is biased towards the aforementioned urban environment. So let's not waste any more time and get straight into the relative timelessness of these iconic motorcycle manufacturers. So let's start with the feel of these bikes on the road. The quick-footed nature of the Jawa just cannot be ignored here. Being ultra compact and light, it has a penchant to get off the mark in a hurry. This means switching lanes or riding through tight traffic is something that the Jawa revels and excels in. The chassis is rigid without any flexing and the suspensions are forgiving, making it quite a potent brawler on Indian roads. The 293cc single-cylinder mill has been designed to push out all the power and torque it can gather early in the RPM range, making it very user-friendly and quick. Although, mind you, a compression ratio of 11:1 may remind you of downshifting more often than not. The 350X, on the other hand, is heavier, wider, lengthier, and has a bigger fuel payload in its tank. This results in sluggish acceleration that impedes it from catching up with the nimble Jawa. What it has going for it though is low-end torque, where you can forget to change gears and just throttle lazily ahead. How about the highways then? Here, the picture still remains the same, with the Jawa charging forward with strong mid-range torque and a better revving engine. The Jawa, with a speedo-indicated top speed of almost 135 km per hour, does great at anything below about 110 km per hour, provided you know how to utilize its gear ratios. Where it takes a hit is ride quality at those speeds. Spend a couple of hours in the wind and you will see what we mean. All your main torso muscles start to ache because of trying to hold on to the bike against the inevitable wind blast. With absolutely zero lumbar support, it's very easy to slide around on the seat. The TBX 350, on the other hand, isn't as fast but gets its points due to the feeling of being seated. The bike feels planted and secure. Its cushy seat and suspensions don't let anything hurt your back, and the 21-liter tank means you can go a distance without refills. On curvy roads, the Jawa feels racy, with a short turning radius and a suspension setup that encourages bending the bike. Best of all, there is a certain calling from the bike that constantly begs us to take it off the road. We often wonder how it would perform if set up as an ADV bike. The 350X here feels like a comfy thumper making its way steadily through the ghats. It behaves well on curves and encourages slightly more relaxed form of riding, where you end up concentrating more on what is around. Getting to the final verdict is slightly difficult in this scenario, because although these bikes are classic Indian roadsters, they cater to two completely different riding styles. The Jawa is a bona fide featherweight brawler. It likes the rush and loves to burst forward through the front lines when the signal light turns green. It likes tight turns and snakes through spaces in our everyday traffic jams. The lack of a tachometer only means that it takes a little time getting used to its most preferred RPM levels. But once you find its sweet spot, you can keep the gears changing and often rocket forward ahead of the crowd. The Thunderbird 350X is more of a relaxed bike, a typical thumper that wants to show off the easygoing nature of the rider. The foot pegs are forward set to give you the feel of a cruiser, and the bike feels quite comfortable even after a long day spent on the roads. It's got to be said that even though this bike doesn't compete very well in terms of performance when matched with the Jawa, it also doesn't really fade away too far from the Jawa's rearview mirrors. Overall, there is no doubt that the Jawa 42 does very well when compared with their old rival, the Royal Enfield 350 series. As a classic bike, it's a winner. Where you start to ponder is when you go to spend your money with an 8-month waiting period from a brand new company. That's when you start to compare it with other multi-purpose city brawlers of today, the Pulsar 220s, the NSs, the Duke 250s, the FZ25s, etc. How it does against today's competition is something we still need to find out.
If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, press the subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on notifications by pressing the bell icon. Thank you.